Uranium. It's a word that sparks a lot of curiosity and sometimes even a little bit of fear. We hear about it all the time, right? In connection with nuclear energy, atomic bombs, and even those wild science fiction stories about radiation. But what exactly is uranium? Well, to really understand it, we need to take a closer look at what this element is, how it was discovered, and why it plays such a massive role in both our energy production and our human history.
At its core, uranium is a naturally occurring chemical element. You'll find it on the periodic table with a symbol U and an atomic number of 92. That number, 92, tells us it has 92 protons packed into its nucleus, which makes it one of the heaviest elements we find in nature. If you could hold a piece, its weight would genuinely surprise you. It's incredibly dense, about 19 times heavier than the same amount of water. And that physical weight? Well, it's just a tiny hint of the immense power that's locked deep inside its atoms. All of this we are going to learn today on Everyday Simple Science with Ray. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to our channel, like and share this video, and help us reach new people who are interested in learning about the what, why, and how of the universe.
So our journey today is going to take us through 6 key chapters in the story of this incredible element. We'll start with its surprisingly innocent discovery, and then we'll unlock the secrets of its atomic power. From there, we'll see how it was turned into a weapon, and then how it's used to power our modern world. We'll also have to confront the very high price of that power, and finally, we'll reflect on its complex, double-edged legacy. Now, you might think the story of uranium starts with a bang, but it doesn't. It actually begins with a color. Long before anyone understood its atomic secrets, uranium was admired for something much simpler: its ability to create this beautiful, glowing glass. It all started back in 1789. A German chemist named Martin Heinrich Klaproth was studying a mineral called pitchblende, and he managed to isolate what he was sure was a brand new substance. To honor the planet Uranus, which had just recently been discovered, he decided to name this new element uranium.
And for the next 100 years or so, that's pretty much all it was known for. Uranium compounds were mainly used as a coloring agent. They gave glass and ceramics this really distinct and beautiful yellow-green fluorescent glow. Humanity had absolutely no idea about the incredible power that was locked away inside its atoms. They just saw the brilliant color it could create.
Everything changed in 1896. A French physicist, Henri Becquerel, was studying fluorescence when he stumbled upon something totally by accident. He discovered that uranium salts, even when they were tucked away in a dark drawer, were giving off these invisible rays that could actually expose a photographic plate. Now, this wasn't fluorescence. It was something completely new. This accidental discovery opened the door to the study of radioactivity, a field that would soon be revolutionized by the work of Marie and Pierre Curie. The world was on the verge of learning the atom's deepest secret. So Becquerel's discovery shifted uranium from just a colorful curiosity to a subject of intense scientific fascination. Scientists now started to peel back the layers of the atom itself, trying to figure out what made this heavy element so special. Now, to really get a handle on uranium's power, there's a key concept we need to understand: isotopes. Think of isotopes as just different versions of the same element. They have the same number of protons. That's what makes them, say, uranium. But they have a different number of neutrons, and that small difference in neutrons can change everything about an atom's stability. Out in nature, uranium mostly comes in 2 main flavors, or isotopes. The first one is uranium-238. It's pretty stable, and it makes up over 99% of all the uranium on Earth. But it's the second one, uranium-235, that's the real game changer. It is incredibly rare, making up just a tiny fraction, about 0.7% of natural uranium. But that rare isotope is what makes all the difference, because U-235 is what we call fissile. Now, fissile simply means that the nucleus of a U-235 atom can be split apart. And that process, which we call nuclear fission, is the source of all of uranium's incredible power. It all starts when a single neutron hits a U-235 nucleus.
The nucleus absorbs it, becomes super unstable, and then splits into smaller atoms. When it splits, it releases a tremendous amount of energy, and it also releases a few more neutrons. Those new neutrons can then go on to strike other U-235 atoms, creating a self-sustaining chain reaction. A single microscopic event suddenly amplified into a source of immense power. A power that, almost as soon as it was understood, was desired for a purpose much, much darker than science.
The discovery of the chain reaction happened right on the eve of the Second World War. And in the shadow of that global conflict, this abstract piece of science suddenly had a terrifyingly practical application. A race began to harness this power, not for energy, but for a weapon on a scale that was previously unimaginable. The year was 1945, a single year that marks a profound and permanent shift in the course of human history. It was the year that the theoretical power of the atom was finally unleashed with devastating force upon the world. During the 1940s, the United States launched a top-secret program called the Manhattan Project. Its one and only goal: build an atomic bomb. To pull this off, scientists had to solve a massive challenge. They had to separate that rare fissile U-235 from the much more common U-238. This process, known as enrichment, was the key to creating enough pure U-235 for a runaway chain reaction. And the result of this incredible effort was Little Boy, the bomb fueled by highly enriched uranium that was dropped on Hiroshima.
In that single, terrible moment, uranium was transformed. It was no longer just an element on the periodic table or a scientific curiosity. It became a symbol of humanity's terrifying capacity for self-destruction. An element that would go on to shape global politics, forge superpowers, and cast a long, dark shadow over all the decades to come. But uranium's story has another side, a much more hopeful chapter. After the war, scientists began to explore how the incredible energy of fission could be controlled and used for peaceful things, most importantly, for generating electricity.
And what's truly mind-boggling is the sheer energy density of this element. To really get it, picture this. Imagine a freight train loaded up with a ton of coal. Now imagine holding that same exact amount of energy in the palm of your hand. That is the power locked inside a single uranium fuel pellet, no bigger than the tip of your finger. This incredible efficiency is what makes uranium such a powerful and also controversial part of our modern energy grid.
Inside a nuclear power plant, that chain reaction isn't allowed to just run wild. It's controlled, very carefully. Uranium fuel rods are arranged inside a reactor, and that fission process generates an immense amount of heat. This heat is then used to boil water, which creates high-pressure steam. That steam spins a turbine, and the turbine drives a generator to produce electricity. And what's so critical here is that this process generates huge amounts of power without burning any fossil fuels, making it a powerful tool in the fight against climate change.
But of course, this incredible power isn't without its costs. The journey of uranium from the ground all the way to a reactor is complex, and it carries some very significant risks and controversies that have to be managed with extreme care. You see, uranium doesn't just come out of the ground ready to use. It's found in different minerals, often in very low concentrations. So extracting it means mining the ore and then milling it down to produce a concentrated uranium oxide powder, famously known as yellowcake. That process alone can be hazardous, and it requires strict safety rules to protect both the workers and the environment.
And the challenges don't stop there. Uranium mining can contaminate soil and water. The workers themselves face risks from radiation exposure and breathing in hazardous dust. And then there's maybe the biggest challenge of them all, the byproduct of nuclear power, the radioactive waste. This material stays hazardous for thousands of years, and it requires a permanent, safe storage solution, a problem that, frankly, humanity is still trying to solve.
There's another side of this story too: depleted uranium. This is basically what's left over after that fissile U-235 has been separated out during the enrichment process. What you're left with is almost pure uranium-238. And because U-238 is the much more stable isotope, this depleted uranium is significantly less radioactive. It is, however, incredibly dense, even denser than lead. And that extreme density has made it valuable for the military, for things like armor plating and armor-piercing munitions.
but its use in combat has sparked intense debate over the potential long-term health effects on soldiers and civilians.
And that brings us to today, where we have to wrestle with uranium's very complex legacy. It's an element that holds both the promise of a clean energy future and the peril of unimaginable destruction.
And this really reveals the fundamental dual nature of the element. On one hand, uranium represents one of our brightest hopes, a source of immense carbon-free power that can fuel our cities and drive progress. But on the other hand, it embodies our deepest fears: the threat of nuclear weapons, the unsolved challenge of radioactive waste, and the persistent risk of environmental harm. In a way, uranium is more than just an element on a table. It's a mirror, reflecting our own human capacity for both brilliant creation and devastating destruction.
As we continue our search for sustainable energy, all while trying to navigate a complex world, uranium remains right at the center of the debate. It challenges us to balance profound innovation with an even more profound sense of responsibility. And so we're left with a question: is uranium an element of progress, a symbol of caution, or is it somehow both at the exact same time? Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Please subscribe to Everyday Simple Science with Ray, like and share the video, and also turn on your notifications. And we do hope you'll click and watch the video that's showing on your screen right now. We'll see you next time.